where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever.
Hello traders, and welcome to another success story. Today's episode is special again because we have a trader in our offices in Dubai, and Didi here has received an amazing amount of rewards from Funding Pips. And when we spoke last, he was around $25,000 in rewards, and today he is above $80,000 in rewards. And I don't know whether you remember, but I said to you, next time we're going to talk in Dubai offices, and it is actually happening. And I did not know it is going to happen so soon, because we kind of said, okay, the next milestone, you're going to be here, and you are here. So it's really amazing to have you there. Now, guys, I want to give an introduction, but I already did 4 months ago. And you know what? A lot of people know Didi, and they know the way he trades. You can also see him on Trading TV. He features there as one of our Funding Pips traders. And of course, you can see him a lot on Twitter and his Instagram as well. And his social media handles will be attached to the description. Also, we're going to give away 2 25K challenge accounts. So stick around to find out how to enter. But over to you. I mean, your achievements are absolutely amazing, and I need to highlight at such a young age. Honestly, that is so extremely impressive, because, you know, some people who may be way further in their careers, etc., when it comes to trading, they have not achieved what you have achieved. But I think your consistency and your mindset and the way you approach the markets is phenomenal. But before we dive into that, tell us a part of your story. What has changed since the moment we spoke with you last? And also, before we do that, talk about the story of how you made it to consistency in trading.
All right. Thank you for having me here at Funding Pips headquarters. It has been a dream for me to actually come here. So I'm really happy that I've actually achieved one of my dreams. So I'm really excited for that. And the last time when we talked, you said that I was going to come to the Funding Pips headquarters. And when I hit 100K reward and also have some plan, but everything went as planned, because like you gave me an idea that next time we can be at here talking, you know, and I made it happen. So I'm really happy for that.
That's amazing.
And so far on our last interview, I told you that you asked me about what I use my rewards, like what am I building with my rewards. And I remember I told you that I was gonna buy a house. I don't know if you know that. And I did it.
Oh my God. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So it's actually an investment property, but I'm actually happy that I did that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what? This is so moving, because, you know, recently we had Dubai Forex Expo, and our CEO Khaled had given the speech. And you know, in that speech, he highlighted that we always put traders first. And so far, we had given over 160 million in rewards, and every dollar is going towards traders' dreams. You know, and that to me is so powerful, because every Wednesday I do sit down with you guys, whether it's in person or online, and we talk about how those rewards changed your life, and you were able to purchase a property. I mean, that's amazing. So let's go back. So this is a dream, and Didi is a living proof. At the age of 22, he purchased his investment property, and he had received over 85,000 in rewards. Let me just highlight that, from trading at Funding Pips. But before you got there, it was hard. The journey was difficult.
Very hard.
What was it like? What kept you going? What kept you motivated to think, even though you were losing maybe, or losing accounts or your own money, what kept you moving forward?
So basically, I started trading. I was at school. I was doing computer science at the university. So by then, you know, as a student, you don't really have a lot of money to start trading. But despite, I tried using the small I had to learn. I mostly focus on the learning process. And as I was scrolling online, I've seen a lot of people making it from trading. They buy houses, they buy cars, they make money, they show profit. And okay, so if I see a lot of people making money from forex trading, that means actually achievable. So if I see people have done it, so I can do it.
It's a living proof, right?
Yes.
And actually, these success stories are living proof as well to traders to showcase your success, what you have achieved, your hardship that you went through, and that is possible at the end.
It's actually possible.
So continue. So you saw those people online doing well, and then what?
So when I saw that they've been making money, I told myself that despite maybe today I'm losing money, one thing for sure is I'm learning a lot of things. So learning was like something really important for me, because today if I trade and let's say I lose an account to probably a daily drawdown, I know that I shouldn't have lost an account to a daily drawdown. So next time I do my best to improve to not lose that account to a daily drawdown again. So every single time I try to improve, and improvement after improvement, that's how I started fixing some of my issues and eventually start making some money from forex trading. So I saw that it was possible, and then I just tried to apply the knowledge I've learned, and eventually I just kept going. Despite all the losses. But sometimes, you get some results as well. You can trade today, you make some money, and you think that, okay, if I meet today, probably I can make more. So that can also be some source of motivation.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. So, you took that motivation from others, but you said learning was very important for you. How did you learn? So what I'm trying to seek out here, did you have a journal where you recorded your trades? I mean, recording our trades should be the basic, but did you do anything else to kind of understand, okay, during this session, I have reached my daily rule. Why did I do that? What was your breaking down process of understanding your mistakes?
So I've learned trading from my classmate. Okay. And he actually charged me money for education.
Okay, fair.
And despite that, he himself, he wasn't really profitable. But one thing I really appreciate about that is he introduced me to what was actually possible, that you can make money from forex trading. You understand? So aside that, mostly I learned from online content. I can go to YouTube, I can look up to maybe some good traders online, and I learn from their content, and I try to apply it on my laptop. So when I do apply, yes, I did have a journal where I write down my mistakes, and mostly I use late night and weekends to actually review what I've done wrong. Where maybe if I traded today, if I take 3 trades, maybe 1 stop loss, 2 wins, and at the end of the day, maybe if I ended in a loss, I see something is wrong, because having 2 TPs, I should have made money. If I end up losing money, what I do is at night, I try to review what I did wrong, whether it's trade management issue or risk management issue. I try to review all of that, write down a plan, and based on that plan, I try to trade the next day and improve.
So from all of those learnings, if you had to give like a small guide to traders, or forget the small guide, what do you pay attention now to when you enter a trade?
Mostly, I look at my trading setup first, which is really important. And once I'm into a trade, I look at my psychology and then my trade management. That's pretty much it. Because before I take a trade, I make sure that the trade follow my rules, right? So whatever strategy I'm trading, I only make sure that it follows everything. That has to come from the session I'm trading. If I'm trading London session, that's the only session I have to be trading. I'm not gonna look at Asia session or anything else. And I have like a step-by-step plan when I'm analyzing. I follow all of that. And after I take a trade, I have a rule on trade management, risk management. 1% per trade, that's all I do. There's no way I'm gonna risk maybe 1.52%. I always make sure I have the same. And the trade management, make sure I always TP. And the last time I posted on my X, I took a trade, it went almost to TP, came back.
I commented on that trade.
Exactly.
I commented, and it was so beautiful. And this just showcases, because I was very impressed. I was very impressed because it was on gold, right? Yes. Okay, so Didy entered a buy on gold, and he had quite a tight stop loss. Your stop loss wasn't big that he could comfortably sit in that position and forget about it. No, Okay, we are back. So if we went off for a second, guys, apologies, but that's the beauty of doing a live stream together, so we can connect with you guys. But let's go back to that trade.
Yeah.
Quite tight stop loss. I think he consolidated for 4 to 5 hours,
Yeah,
the whole session.
Yes.
And the price was going into quite good profit, back to break even and even drawdown. Quite good profit. It was literally consolidation, and not for once. This trader here thought to break his plan and close this position, or go break even, or take his profits early. No. What you can see through that, to me, what it showcases that you have such strong belief in your system that whether you take a loss, you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Whether you take, because you don't use break even, I've noticed from that trade, it's either loss or take profit. You plan that trade, you stuck with that trade with your analysis, and then profit eventually was hit after 5 hours or something like that, which usually you would expect momentum during the session, right?
Yes. So that all to say that when I take a trade, if I have a plan, mostly if I'm trading a challenge, I don't really break even my challenge. But maybe if I have a live account, I have like a lot more emotion linked to my live account, so sometimes I can break even my trade. But I take a trade, I have a strict plan. If it has to be TP, it has to be TP. Doesn't matter if price miss my TP by 1 or 2 pip. I just have to roll to my.
I really love that. I really love that, because you have full conviction in what you are doing and you don't get swayed by your emotions. Because what happens during sitting in a trade, people get emotional.
Yes.
And emotions drive, they exit from the markets, etc. But I bet you learned that. I bet you used to do that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're solid. So what is your usual risk reward ratio?
Risk reward, well, it depends on the account model I'm trading or the account type. Mostly when I'm trading a challenge account, I tend to go for high risk reward because you are required to make like a lot of profit to pass. Probably if I'm to make 8% on phase 1, then I try to go for 8 risk reward to pass the phase 1. And the same thing for phase 2, I go for less risk reward. But when it comes to live account, I try to, I don't really have like a specific risk reward for live account. If my account was in drawdown, then I go for a higher risk reward for me to recover the drawdown and make some payout. But if my account is at break even, then I can actually take a 3 risk reward and I'm cool with it. Because if I'm risking 1%, probably on a 100K account, then 3%, that's like $3,000. And if I have a weekly payout, that's literally $3,000 every single week. That add up to a month. So,
absolutely, and obviously that is working very well for you.
Yeah.
Because, like I've mentioned, during our last conversation 4 months ago, approximately, Didy here had around 25,000 in rewards from us. 4 months went by, he's at 85 almost. So that's extra $60,000 we are talking about in 4 months.
Yes.
You know, people sometimes it takes them 2 years to make that. You made that in 4 months, and that's absolutely amazing. Was that your goal, or were you just trading your plan, and by trading your plan and following the rules, it happened?
Actually, I think I was just following my plan. I don't really have like a goal. Maybe I had a goal to hit 100K reward before this.
Yes.
But I didn't get this way. It's fine, right? But I didn't have a goal. All I do is when I trade, I don't really go for a target. If you check my payout, I have maybe 1,000 payout today, maybe 2,000 tomorrow. Even today, before this interview, I have requested another payout.
Amazing.
$3,000 payout. So I didn't have like a goal to make a certain amount of money. Whatever the market gives me, I just take it. So whatever risk reward I get, I take it. And when it comes to risk reward, sometimes the risk reward depends on my trading setup, the structure. Maybe I take a buy on gold, and then my TP is maybe all-time high as usual. My TP is going to be all-time high. So if at all-time high I have maybe 3 risk reward, then I'm going to have the 3 risk reward. Or if it's higher, then that could is.
Okay, perfect. And I think you tweeted something else that made me laugh. Didy said another day, gold makes everyone feel like they are good traders. Because everyone's just keep on buying. Although I know a lot of traders that are selling and they keep on trying to sell, but that was really good. So now, I want to highlight again, because we have a lot to highlight here. We have, in the last 4 months, 60,000 in rewards. Overall, 85. Today requested 3. That's about 88. Close enough to 100. This is perfect. It was your dream to come to the Dubai headquarters offices at Funding Pips. You purchased a property. You traveled to Dubai and you are living the life. I see your stories. You are enjoying yourself, and that's what it is about. What would you tell now a struggling trader? A trader who's not yet even passed the challenge, a trader who never made it towards, what would you tell them to do?
Yeah, so if you are a trader and you are dreaming of probably getting funded, making payout, being consistent in trading, the most important thing is that you first have to truly focus on knowledge. Because without knowledge, I don't think that anyone can do everything. Right? Even today, this interview, if we didn't have idea about studio staff, lighting, we can't make this happen. So in anything you do, you need knowledge. So if right now you start trading, first thing, focus on learning one strategy and stick to it. Okay? So it could be anything, ICT, trend line, anything you want to learn, just go and learn that one strategy. Once you have it, then focus on data. Collect data about that strategy and know how good you are trading that strategy. Because sometimes not every strategy is made for everyone. I can be trading ICT, I can be good at it. You can try the same thing, but it might not work for you. But some people still maybe trade trend line, but they make money.
Absolutely.
So strategy isn't really a problem, but try to see, does it suit your trading style? If it does suit your trading style, based on the data you've collected, then you can now go to the next step, which could be your trade management, risk management, and psychology. Because you can be really good getting set up, getting TPs, but if you don't manage well, you can't grow a trading account.
Absolutely.
You make money today, you full pot tomorrow, you lose everything.
This is so important.
You have to focus on all of this. Once you do, and the most important thing is when you start with funded account, top firms, try to go slowly. You don't have to go and buy a 200K, 100K. If you just collected data, for example, if right now I've learned how to maybe I want to become a pilot, right? And then I go to the airport, I want to have my first flight. I'm not gonna take the latest plane to fly,
Just go.
You're just gonna go and take maybe the smallest one, you give it a try, and then as you keep getting more experiences, then you go to the higher level. And
Absolutely.
Apply to the same thing to trading.
Absolutely. Trading is not a shortcut. It's actually a career that requires a lot of attention, a lot of effort, and a lot of self-discovery.
Yes.
A lot of self-discovery, and that's really important. And you mentioned something very important. Everything that you said is so valuable, but there's one thing that's super important. You can make money in the market, but if you don't know how to keep it, because of risk management, that might be the next step of your learning journey, which is fine. If you have learned how to take good setups, if you have learned how to create consistency in the market, that's beautiful. But you also have to learn how to risk manage, how not to overtrade, how not to overexpose yourself, etc., and think that you can get or be involved in a market all the time, essentially. That's extremely important. Now, I would want to know what are your parents saying about it all? Because, I remember you saying that they were supportive during your trading journey. And as far as I remember, did you quit university for trading or did you continue with university?
Actually, funny enough, but I have completed university.
Amazing.
And as I'm speaking here, I think on 29th or 30th of this month is actually my graduation.
Oh, fantastic.
I have no idea if I'm going to be there or not.
Fantastic. I'm so happy for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I've completed with university, and when it comes to parents, they always supported about any kind of business I do. So when I started, trading, when you speak to someone that doesn't trade, the person doesn't really understand well. So I just tell them that I'm doing some online businesses, maybe trading related something, but they don't really understand very well.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, when I told them, they said whatever they do, they are just happy with it because I'm their first child and they are expecting me to like succeed, So anything I do, they just want me to see going well. And mostly, even when I started trading, I was losing money. I wasn't really telling them anything much because like it's gonna be difficult to just tell someone that I just lost maybe someone's salary just one day, It's gonna be very difficult for them to actually understand the whole thing. So they've been supportive, and I try to not really include them much into it.
I understand, and I think everybody always should do what's comfortable for them.
Yes.
But it's good that you received that support in following your path and your dreams, etc. You worked out, so they must be very happy and proud of you.
Yeah, they're actually really happy.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, you said something so valuable. If you're not a trader, you will not understand what I'm going through. If you're not a trader, you don't understand the losses I'm going through, or the amount of losses, etc. So how important is to surround yourself with good trading community, or with mentors, or being part of Funding Pips Discord, or like how do you find support? How should you seek support? Because I believe it's quite difficult with how much is going out there online.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to have some supportive traders around you, especially like when you're trading. You want to have people that actually understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give an example where yesterday morning I took a trade and I took a stop loss. I was really sad, and my cousin right there, he's also a trader. I trade with Funding Pips as well, and he knows I took a stop loss, and he was just supportive to it. He truly understood what I went through. And later, I think the evening I took a trade, it went well, and I was happy. We were happy. We both understood what actually happened. But if I was with someone that doesn't really understand what happened, the person may think that maybe I'm just mad at him or something because I wasn't talking to the person and those kind of things. So it's really important to talk to someone that really understands.
Yes.
So online, again, you truly just have to get people that you are actually like really friendly with them, and you just feel comfortable around them.
Yes.
Like for example, being part of Funding Pips WhatsApp group, I have I've made some friends. Yeah, I've made some friends that sometimes we trade in DM, sometimes we just share really good knowledge. And even on Funding Pips Discord, sometimes if I have some doubt, I go there to ask, and then I get good answers.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful, and it's so important. You're so right, because see what I see in you, and this is a beautiful example. Trading still affects you. Losses still affect you, but not on the charts.
Yes.
On the charts, you make yourself accountable. You stick to your trading plan. You don't get swayed by price doing its thing. But that doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. You're not a robot. You're a human.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose, because a lot of traders often want to become robots. And they say, no, I don't want to be emotional. It doesn't work like that. We are emotional beings. We are humans. But what we have to do is we have to control emotions on the charts and not to respond to those emotions. That means you may still experience them, but you just won't respond to them. And you said another thing, talk. And talking is so important. Talk to someone. When you are struggling, when you are feeling sad, jump on a call, WhatsApp, Discord, whatever that might be, because sometimes pretending that everything's okay and trying to get on with it is the hardest thing to do, and that can actually psychologically put a lot of pressure on traders, because then they want to perform well, to prove themselves, but that doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that in the markets, Now, I want to talk more about you and your goals, because you've achieved an amazing lot of goals already. What's next for you in terms of growing as a trader, in terms of growing as a person? Because you've undergone a great transformation as a trader already.
Yeah. So so far I've been trading CFDs, and right now my goal, I want to start trading futures as well, because I have some friends, traders friends that trade futures. I've seen they actually make a really, can I say more? I don't know.
You can absolutely.
So I think this is like one of the goal. I want to like start trading futures and have it as a source of income as well. And aside trading, I want to purchase more investment properties, because like right now I'm 22. Probably I want to make like 25 or something. I want to have enough investment properties that can generate enough passive income to sustain a lifestyle.
Beautiful. Yeah. So that then relieves that pressure on trading, exactly. And then you can perform even better.
If you have enough money entering monthly, you hit a stop loss, you're not going to be that affected much as if you just put everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's still, extremely brave of you at the moment to rely on trading as your source of income. That's unbelievable. Could be an unbelievable pressure on somebody's shoulders, but also, it's great because the character of traders is different. Now, I want to talk more about your self-discovery because you mentioned psychology, you talk openly about emotions, you talk openly about the whole process as a trader. What did you learn about yourself in the last, let's say, 6 months as a person? Because I believe in trading, we evolve all the time.
Yeah.
For last 6 months, because I believe those last 6 months were really significant for you.
A lot has changed, especially the way I look at trading. At the beginning, when I had about 27,000 in rewards, I was thinking maybe if I made anywhere from $5,000 monthly, that could be like a good amount of money, basically. But as I keep trading, I see that 5,000, yeah, it's a good amount of money, but it can't sustain everything, especially if you start having responsibilities.
Yes.
I'm not married, I'm not anything, but in the future, if I get into having a family, 5,000 living in a very expensive city is going to be a bit complicated. So that's when I saw that, okay, you can actually make way more than what you maybe have before. Right now, I can have a goal of maybe making 100K monthly, and that could look like huge for someone else, and that could also look very small for another type of person. But this is the mindset I have right now, like making more so I can also achieve more things.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, about myself, sometimes just want to talk to traders,
Yeah, beautiful. And I actually received one of the questions, and I'm not going to ask questions yet from the traders because I'm really enjoying speaking with you here. But someone is asking Benjamin, Paulina, can you ask him how he manages his emotions? And I think I want to know too.
Okay, so sometimes I'm gonna make it clear. Sometimes I still go emotional, right?
Of course,
it happens. It happens sometimes when you maybe broke your rules, when you try to tell yourself why did I do that. It happens. But what I mostly do, let's say when it comes to trade management, for example, everything I use is just trading view alerts. That's pretty much it. I take a trade right now. I set this an alert on my stop loss. I set an alert on where I think I'm gonna take TP or maybe partial or break with anything. I set there, and after that, I just put my phone somewhere, and I don't look at it again until the alert goes off, and I come and check. So by doing that, it avoids me to see my trade going up and comes down and try to close and all of that.
So just wait.
Yes, I just have to wait for my trade to go down.
Pardon me. Yeah. That is brilliant. And I today had a discussion with Safe, our institutional trader, who also is on Trading TV, and you can also see him be on the chart series on Fountain Pips. But we had a conversation together, and I said to him, it depends, because I switch between scalping and intraday trading. And I said, obviously with scalping, I need to be on
you have to be on
in and out, I have to. But if it's intraday, I will have different emotional response if I see myself going into a stop loss and I experience a stop loss looking at the charts, or if I come to the charts later and be like, oh, I took a stop loss. It's completely different because when you don't witness it, you're not emotionally attached to it. You find out later, the markets have already moved and you kind of it's done, it's fine, okay, I know the setup. But if I saw it happening, then my emotional response would be different. Now, it's important to understand those things about yourself as a trader, how you react to markets in different scenarios and situations, because then you know how to manage yourself best. Exactly what you have done. What you have noticed is that when you are watching the charts, you will overtrade, be emotional, break your rules, etc. So you remove yourself.
And aside that, it happens, and this is really difficult to deal with, where you come on a trading session, you miss your setup, you see price going, that happens a lot on gold. we've seen traders, like we've seen gold creating all-time high every single day.
Yes.
And we've had people trying to short. That was a mistake I've made before, where I think that was last time gold hit 3,000. That was like 3 months ago or something. I was trying to short it the whole time, gold creating all-time high every single day. I've been taking stop losses. Why am I trying to sell? Because I miss all the buys. So sometimes you miss a trade and you think that maybe price gonna go opposite now, you try to take a trade. Or sometimes price you miss and you just want to enter trade because you miss, you want to have a trade. And that doesn't work that way. If you try to force a trade, that's where you will start taking losses without even you thinking about what's happening. You just end up losing.
Yes.
Like that. And it's really, really difficult to deal with that. Sometimes even to me it happens. But what I can say is like, if that happens, just try to be calm. Just if you see price miss, just go off. Sometimes you have a life, right? You can go and do something else. You can go and play with your friends. You can go, I don't know, anywhere that you think that is your hobby, but you don't always have to be on the chart.
That's the thing, like, you know, people want to free themselves from the whole 9 to 5 concept, going to the office or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they chain themselves to their screens and they never leave. They become those traders who are always on the screen. They don't go enjoy their life, etc. And that's the mistake. And of course, it's hard because you have to reprogram your whole thought process of how you think about work and everything. But that's the purpose of trading. To buy your own time.
Yeah.
To gain your own time, right?
And
so
you end up spending your time on it. And the whole purpose is defeated.
Exactly. But I bet you have some kind of routine that you engage in on a daily basis. So obviously now you are traveling, so it will be different. But when you are home and when you are trading, can you talk our traders through your daily routine? What do you do? Or do you have a routine? Maybe you don't.
Yeah, so for a routine, my routine is very boring, I'm not lying. But it depends. If I take a trade like right now, I have a way better routine. Mostly in the morning I trade. After trading, I try to maybe get some food, go to the gym, and probably just go out with friends. I like swimming, go to the swimming pool. But that's if I go out. I really have like a really nice routine. But when I'm home, I mean trading, playing games, scrolling TikTok all day, chatting with friends, eating. I don't know. I don't really
just living life.
Yeah, I don't. Chill. And sometimes I just try to bring up new plans to make more money.
Yeah. Beautiful.
You try to like think like you may make a lot of money right now, but you still think, how do I make more? You spend all your time thinking how you can make more, and that happens a lot when you are home alone and you are stuck.
But see, but you are actually spending time away from the trust, thinking, how can I make more? Whereas traders mistakenly spend more time on the trust, thinking, how can I make more money here? And that's when they lose more money. You know, but you are actually taking that time away and thinking, okay, how can I expand? How can I grow? How can I do this? How can I do that? And that's so important because, you know, trading is all about predicting price action. We predict it based on data from the past, and we have to predict, okay, what may happen in the next few hours, next few minutes, next few whatever. And that is a mental fatigue. So you spending that time on just relaxing after your trading sessions, etc., is beautiful.
And sometimes you don't really need to predict everything. You know, let's say I take a trade, I hit TP, I'm done. I don't really care if price keep going up or price goes down. I only if I come back tomorrow, that's when I'm interested. So some people they think that price is gonna move without them, and they get emotional.
Yes,
so that also like is very bad thing. And something I can maybe add to my routine. I also I did computer science, so I code. So sometimes I create my own website. I spend time maybe trying to automate things. Like I make content, so I try to automate how I can like make it faster.
Beautiful. I really love that you are just growing as a person in different directions. But most importantly, what I can see on your socials is that you spend time with your loved ones.
Yeah.
You know, with your family and friends, and that's the essence of life. You know, spending time with people that you trust, that you love, that you can have a good time with, and that really recharges your energy. But at the same time, you stay focused and you have a routine of what you do, etc. And that's really beautiful. So we're going to continue talking about, guys, it's your time. The questions are already flooding, and there are so many, but I want you now to start asking questions. anything they would like to find out from Didy about his trading style, about his psychology, about anything at all, it's your chance to do it now. And let me tell you now, the way you can enter the giveaway, you can enter it if you are attending live, and you can enter it if you are re-watching after the live ended. What we need you to do is to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and comment underneath what have you learned from Didy today. And we are going to select 2 winners and announce them in next Tuesday evening vlog. And we're going to attach that vlog also to the comment section. But now let me pick out some questions. There's so many. You're very popular. There's so many. You were very popular last time, but this time I am getting overloaded here. But let me pick some questions. Okay, that's an interesting one. What does Didy do when his A+ setup hits stop loss before going his direction?
That's a tough one, but it depends. Sometimes maybe if I have a higher time frame setup, maybe on the H4 or something, then price goes there. Mostly I like going to the lower time frame to look for my entry. So sometimes when I go to the lower time frame and I take an entry, and after hit stop loss, I go back to the higher time frame, to the H4, to see if my setup is still valid on the H4. If my setup is still valid on the H4, then I can look for another confirmation entry to take it. But if my higher time frame setup invalidated, that's when I stop. So I don't take any more setup if my overall time frame has invalidated.
So you so it's one trading idea.
Yeah.
If it fails, you may look for another confirmation entry, which is important.
Yes.
But if you don't receive that, you let it go.
Yes.
And that's so important because, guys, even A+ setup
can fail.
It can fail.
Yeah.
It's going to happen because in the markets, nothing ever is guaranteed. Yeah. Nothing ever we can take for granted.
It comes to probabilities,
Yeah.
A+ setup doesn't mean it's 100%. Even if it's 80% probable to play out, there's going to be that 20% happening. There's going to be a loss. So you have to be prepared for that as well.
Yes, that's for sure. I have a question actually about the dashboard. So how do you find the new Funding Pips dashboard?
The dashboard is really, really amazing. It gives a lot of information. It looks like those one journal thing.
Yes.
I don't know,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't had a subscription, but later when I saw the dashboard, it gave me so much information.
Amazing.
I just had to stop that. But it does give a lot of information, which I like.
That's amazing. It's helpful because you can really see your trading style in terms of data.
Yes.
And when you understand your trading style in terms of data, it really helps you with your planning, your trades, etc. Now, let me just highlight though, guys, you should understand your trading style before you even enter the market.
Exactly.
I mean, through the back test or forward test or participation in the market, I understand. But obviously, it's a different kind of psychology and emotions sometimes during the master accounts. So I get that. Okay, let's move on to another question. So here we are. There are so many. Let me go to the latest one. Okay, something to do with gold. How they are flowing so fast, I cannot catch up. But it was about how do you balance technical setups with market sentiment when trading gold? Do you pay attention to fundamentals or are you pure technical trader?
Actually, I don't really pay attention to fundamental. Sometimes I do pay attention to fundamental when it comes to high impact news.
Yes.
But again, actually, let's just say that I pay attention to Trump.
Okay. Fair. We should all pay attention to him. Yeah.
Definitely. So if that guy comes say, okay, I'm going to tariff this country, I know that is going to go down. But mostly, you can't predict when it's going to.
Yes.
Exactly. So what happened is after he make a tweet and the market prompt, then that's where I now try to look for a buy, because mostly they just try to manipulate the market, He just try to make the market goes down for them to maybe take profit or maybe buy. And that's when I look for entries. But on day-to-day basis, when I'm trading, I don't really look at fundamental. The only thing I look at it is to see whether if I have high impact news or not, if that's going to impact on my account.
Amazing.
I don't want to be trading high impact news on my account. Maybe I can lose it to a high impact news. I make sure there is no red news, and once I know there's no red news, that's a trading day for me, and I trade freely. If I do, maybe there's a red news, after my trading session, I make sure I close my trade after that trading session, or at least I take like 90% of the profit, and then I hold the remaining.
It's really unnecessary for us traders, retail traders, to be trading during news, unless you're a swing trader and you are already in the position and it's somewhere far from your from your entry or whatever, it's safe, fair. But otherwise, just stay away, allow for the markets to stabilize, and then make a decision. Now, I have more questions. Okay, so now more questions are coming through, of course, about your technical approach to the markets and how do you decide to take profit? Do you have fixed risk-reward ratio, or is it more based on market structure?
Actually, it's based on both, right? If I do analyze, my take profit is always based on the market structure. Maybe if I'm expecting price to create a new high, then previous high has to be my target. But before I even enter the position, once I know my target, I try to calculate how much risk reward is that trade. If that trade is maybe 1 risk reward, it's just not worth for me to take it, so I just don't take it. But if it's up to maybe 4, 5 risk reward, and that's like ideal for me, then I take it. So my TP is based on market structure, but before I enter the position, I make sure that the risk reward suits me.
Okay, beautiful. Someone is asking, how fast do you get your rewards from funding pips from the moment you request?
Yeah, so I like trading 2-step pro. A while ago, I've been trading 1-step, my 2-step pro. 2-step pro get processed within 24 hours. So I always get like processed less than the deadline. Less than deadline.
So when you requested, because Didy actually requested as he was signing office and waiting to come to the success story, and so tomorrow around the same time or even sooner you will receive it.
Yeah,
basically.
Probably,
There we go. That's the answer, guys. Okay, now I have so many questions, but I'm trying to pick ones that are, something we did not cover yet. Okay. Someone is asking, what is the biggest mindset shift a trader needs to make when transitioning from trading personal funds to trading a funded account?
Right. So about that, I think when you are trading, it's not just about trading funded account. Trading as a whole, you have to think on percentage gain, right? So you have to think how much percentage you need to make to grow an account. It's not about, because when you trade personal account, you could have had $100 account or a $500 account. Having a $500 account, you'll not think of making 1% or risking 1% per trade, because 1% that's like $0.5. You can't do that. So when you transition, let's say going from $500 account to buying maybe a 100K account, costing the same amount of money, having a 100K, you'll not go and try to risk the same amount, because 100K, you can start risking $500 per trade, $1,000 per trade, and from risking $1,000, that makes it 1%. So it teaches you to actually start managing your account accordingly, having to have like a really good percentage risk per trade, and have a good how much profit you are making as well. And at the end of the month, you try to see how much profit you've made in terms of percentage, not really like money. Because if I make $50 on a $500 account, I will not tell someone that I made 20% or 30%. You just say I made $50. But if you are trading a funded account, you can tell someone you made 2%. So you start thinking about it as like a business where you have to make some percentage.
Absolutely. So let me ask you a question. Have you always had this mindset, or did you grow to have this mindset?
I ran road. At the beginning, when I was trading personal accounts, which that's how I've learned trading, right? So the guy funded my account, and I think that was like $50 or $30, I don't remember. First trade, I lost everything. I literally lost everything on one trade because I didn't know how the lot size works. I didn't know the risk management, anything. I just entered the trade. I lost everything. So at the beginning, when I fund my account, I'm thinking of maybe 2, 3 setups, and I blew my account. I wasn't thinking about like how much I'm risking. So as I keep learning, even when I came to fund it at the beginning, I was full porting my account because I didn't understand exactly how the percentage works.
Of course.
Yeah. So along the way, that's when I've learned how to actually risk small per trade and
Amazing.
Make some money.
That's really, really, really amazing. I really love your mindset. And honestly, guys, in order to have this mindset, you have to go through the whole journey, through the whole process as a trader, right? Through all of the mistakes, through all of the pain, emotional pain, through everything really. But the most important thing is, which Didy is saying here, and also Ananda that I spoke with last Wednesday said as well, learning. Don't expect to do the same mistakes over and over again, and then you think your results will magically change. No, you have to actually analyze and think, okay, I've done this. What does that mean? How do I change it for the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day? And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not that you sat one evening and you saw, okay, those are my mistakes. It doesn't happen again. It doesn't happen like that. It's a journey. It takes time. And you may first work on your journey to understand your technical analysis. Fine. You have good entries. But then you may need to work now on risk management. And then you will need to work on another part. To me, it's always the method that you use in the markets. It is about risk management and psychology. Yeah. But at the end of the day, psychology is the trader that is executing the method and the risk management, But having those is helping your psychology. So it's like a full cycle that is feeding itself over and over again. Now, other people are asking, what is your maximum number of losses per day that you allow yourself?
Actually, because I have a lot of accounts, so I can have as many losses as I can, but that doesn't mean that I have to lose a lot, right? So basically, I trade 2 sessions, London and New York, and mostly I get most of my setup at New York session because gold's moving at New York and Asia for some reason. So
recently, especially, honestly, honestly,
crazy. So on one trading session, I can probably have maximum of 3 setup. That's maximum, but mostly it's 1, 2, 1, 2.
And what time frame do you enter on?
I mostly enter from the 1 minute or 5 minutes.
Beautiful, solid, very solid. Now, we had such an amazing conversation. But I have a question from someone that is asking, what advice would you give someone who feels like giving up, even though they've been putting so much effort, but yet there are no results?
Yeah. So the real question when you say so much effort, how much effort is actually the so much you're talking about?
Let's be real, right? Yeah.
There's so much you have can be someone else's less effort. So when you start, make sure that you've learned enough. And when you learn enough, whenever you lose money, you feel like you're quitting. Try to see is that normal? Is that mistake preventing you from making money? If it is, try to fix it. It's about try to fix whatever mistake you have that is making you try to quit, and try to get some, motivation. Try to watch people what did they, and try to even talk to them.
Yeah.
What did they do to achieve it? What did they do to become profitable? For me, when I started, I like asking a lot of questions. I like coming to traders when they're friendly with me, they talk to me. I like asking them questions straight away, even right now, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't trade features, right? I trade CFDs. And there's that one trader, he's on trading as well. His name is Zamko.
Yes.
That guy, yes. He trades features, he makes a lot of money from features. And I asked him in his DM, bro, how do you trade features? How do you manage with the trading drawdown, with all of that? I asked him questions. I know a lot of questions. How you learn. Despite I'm a mentor, I still ask someone questions.
Of course.
Because I have to learn. So whatever I have as a mistake, just try to fix it. And if others made it, try to talk to them and try to fix it.
Absolutely. And there is never such a thing that we know enough. I could say, I'm a psychologist. What do I have to learn from you? I'm learning so much from every single conversation I have with every single trader, because we all have different backgrounds. We all have different stories, but we usually have the same goal. We want to be successful in trading.
Successful, make money.
And why do we usually want to do that? Well, to secure our families and to change our lives, to live differently because we don't fit within that certain box the way we should be living, and that does take special mindset and character because, the way the society is running is we are used to the school system, the higher education system, and the standard work system. And I understand how it may be actually difficult for the traders to shift from doing that to being a trader who have all of this time. I bet you struggled as well.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you had all this time and you thought to yourself, maybe what do I do with all this time? Yeah. You know, and you figured it out. You were like, I'm going to make more money and I'm going to do more things, basically. Yeah. But you've done it in a smart way because you are investing outside of trading, you're investing in your trading, and you're also spending time with your loved ones, which you are winning. You know, whatever you are doing, this is my genuine advice to every trader, keep doing it. Keep doing it because it's working, and just keep doing it. I'm going to take last question. But remember, guys, we are giving away 2 25K accounts. So I want you to subscribe, to like, and comment under the video after the stream is done, and tell us what have you learned from Didi. And we are going to announce the winner in the next Tuesday evening blog. Okay, I have a question here. I take 2 questions. One small question is, did you have a full-time job before you started trading? But I think I already know the answer to this question, because you know, we are connected on socials, and whatever he tweets, I tweet, we see each other, etc. Plus he's our trader and he's on Trading TV. But have you ever had a normal job when struggling with trading?
I wish. I wish I had one. I never really had a job because I've literally just graduated.
Yeah.
So if I didn't make it from trading yet, I would have probably looked for a job to maybe fund my trading, basically. But as I finished with my school, and I'm already a profitable trader, so there's really no point of me to actually get a job. But way before that, my mom, I think she has some businesses, right? She does sell some stuff. She has a shop. So before I go to the university, I used to sometimes sell at her shop. Okay. But again, that's like doing to help your mom. You know, I can't say that I had a job.
Exactly. I understand.
So I haven't really had one.
I understand. Well, I just give you feedback. Someone is saying your kindness and support sets an example for all of us. Thank you. Thank you know, and I think that's so beautiful, because that's the purpose, to showcase stories, to showcase the journeys. And you know, there's one common thing with every single trader. Neither of those traders, you guys on Success Stories, was an easy journey.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
Everybody struggled, whether that's psychologically, emotionally, financially, tried and failed, tried and failed, tried and failed, and continued and moved. So that is extremely amazing. That's my alarms are going off. That's Euro moving. Maybe that's Samuel's trade. Oh no, he was in GBP trade, so it's different. But you know,
that actually proves that TradingView alert is good.
That's it, right? Yeah. Imagine.
You don't need to look at it all the time, you know.
I'm curious why I've set my alert there, though. But yes, alerts are helping a lot. And this is where you guys have to think from all of those conversations that we have in, and that's my generic advice to traders, is utilize all of the tools that you can utilize. Yeah. All of them. What I do myself, sometimes when I do back tests, I would take all of the screenshots from my back test, and it was a bit off. I was like, okay. You know, to experiment and to kind of see what's out there. There are so many tools these days, and education, that we really do get a great opportunity as traders. But now, what are your final words to funding pitch traders?
Those are struggling?
Anyone who are struggling, who want to start, who are already on their journey, who may have reached master accounts and then failed again, and you know, what would you say to traders?
Yeah, so whatever you are doing right now and you think is working, right? Just keep going, right? Keep going. Why am I saying this is like last year exactly this month, I think I've been averaging maybe like $1,000 payout, $2,000 payout a month. As I'm here, I'm getting well over 20 to 30K trading prop firms. So all that happened within 1 year, right? Within just 1 year. So whatever you're doing right now and you're seeing results, just keep going, keep going. Eventually, you're gonna reach whatever goal you have, how wild it is. If you keep being focused on it, you'll end up making a lot of money and achieving all of your goals. And if you are struggling, just learn from others, learn from your mistakes, learn from others' mistakes as well. You know, if I make a mistake right now and I tweet it, I put on my socials, ask me like, why did I do that? And I'm gonna explain to you the reason why that happened and learn from them. If I have a mistake, like you don't have to wait for that mistake to happen to you before you try to fix it. Try to avoid for that mistake to happen to you as well. So as you keep improving, you keep learning from your mistake, you'll also end up having the same result as those others having, you know. So I just hope that all of this help you enough for you to get probably your first master account and start making some good amount of money from it.
There we go. And that's a golden advice. And let's just remind traders, did you start with 100K account at Funding Pips?
No, that's the whole point. It wasn't 100K.
What was it?
I think, was it, I don't remember, 10K?
10K.
I think it was a 10K. $59 something. It was a 10K account.
There we go.
Yeah.
And that's how he started, and this is where he is now. So don't push yourself for those heights. Do what you can and just follow the process, the plan, learn. And we want to support you traders, so we're going to give away 2 25K accounts. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. What have you learned? To tell us what have you learned from Didy today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure as well.
Thank you, traders.
Where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. Funding Pips. Built by traders for traders.